Fans watching around the world, live from the T-Mobile Arena, it's UFC middleweight champ. Martial artist holding a professional record. 13 wins, 4 out of Coconut, Florida, by way of Pinar del Rio, Cuba, number 3 ranked middleweight contender in the world. Undefeated mixed martial artist, holding a perfect professional record, 18.5 pounds, fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, undisputed U.S. last style bender.
Okay, gentlemen, in center, please. Be in the corners. Let's go.
How does he? Can't do too many. Can't do too.
Clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Yoel Romero.
Look at Yoel.
Look at Yoel, man. I'm telling you, it's like, what's he doing?
He's giving you something to think about.
I mean,
he looks like he's 220 pounds right now.
He looks big.
It's to pressure him, but it's got to be the right pressure. I mean, Adesanya.
Yeah, Izzy's a great interview. He understands that Yoel wants putting himself at too much risk because of how dangerous Yoel is.
Right?
Yeah.
The one thing that he hasn't used, I mean, such a spectacular wrestler.
Chamizo at the open workout, who's a phenomenal world champion. Cuban wrestler does, so maybe that's the idea, but he has to find a way to start.
So 2 minutes have gone.
This starts going. It's going to be good. He said even kicking Yoel, if he checks a kick, it feels like you're kicking.
Subtle stance.
I think there's a different danger with fighting Romero, right? You know, less caution in the past. And right now he's just trying to Romero. And that's the problem, right? The moment Izzy got in the ring.
Cena against Romero.
Yeah, and
Paulo Costa is another dude made out of metal.
And he certainly touched that lead leg of Romero.
Right, like as slow of a round as this is, Yoel Izzy has to start to really let himself go a little bit and make.
Nice jumping round kick to the back.
But a pedestrian first round with 20 seconds to go.
I have a feeling it's going to heat up.
It has to. 5 rounds.
Well, MMA is the theater of the unpredictable.
Can you do 10-10?
You should be able,
But yes, you can.
that should be 10-10.
So is it going to be
that? Boom. And Romero.
But if you're Romero, in terms of cardio projection,
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he got
All right,
loose.
guys, let's go.
If you're
Round 2, you got to
thinking-
fight.
if you're thinking, take some chances.
coaches under that ATT roof has worked a lot with Romero. Counter left from Romero.
That was a big shot.
Oh.
He just defies what people think.
Somebody needs to study him because he's getting faster and stronger. I mean,
Well, Izzy's going to have to take some chances, though, man. Put himself in the line of fire a little bit, or you're also going to try to steal the stick from him. And this is what he needs to do, right? He's starting to close the range.
Beautiful kick to the body. Beautiful inside low kick.
well, after tonight's main event, we'll recap all the action from Vegas on the UFC 2.
Tried to punch him in the leg.
Jangle.
He throws a lot of feints, tries to get
2.5 gone by here, round 2.
Does have power. But seeing Romero finish all those guys, you understand that. Izzy put his hands up like that to defend those punches. He could have easily just grabbed the.
Conversation with him about it?
I've never asked him. I mean,
Please do.
His, last title shot, you got to imagine. You got to be willing.
Yeah, well, Bernard Hopkins, he said, thought Bernard is a brilliant defensive boxer.
Bernard never got hit.
He was so defensive oriented, so smart the way he would clink.
It's now to go round 2.
And as long as he's kicking, he's a little bit further away.
Boxing's Eugene Behrman thinks of everything, but you wonder If the nice stick.
Great job.
Estás entero.
Espérate, deja que coja tu tiempo.
Hold on, let me take this time.
Cámbiasela abajo también, que está presionando, se la tira al estómago.
You have to hit him with the making guesses.
On 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Audio
Side of Israel's face, and they were using an end swell on it in between rounds. His left hand is his most dangerous weapon.
He was going to fight with a little bit more forward pressure that round, and now he's starting to back.
tonight.
It's kind of crazy that that's his defense, though. He's done.
Adesanya with an effective attack on that lead leg.
Hasn't really picked up much, but Izzy's fighting much better now. Right? Starting to fight better.
Matrix-like as he avoided that last.
Security, because Yoel will show you a pace, a slow.
And it's easy to see why.
Well, he's been stung a couple times now, but he's survived.
Romero because of the wrestling background, right? To show that he can handle anything. He just reach at your leg with his right hand, because he did that against Rockhold, right? He made, I guess I'd call him takedown attempts.
Romero in mixed martial arts competition, Fei Zhao back in 2011.
Yeah, I
put him
believe
out.
so.
Yeah, it was like a spinning elbow he got Romero with.
Good for Romero.
And at the time, Rafael Fei Zhao
He was the man.
Really had almost no striking. Good front kick to him.
Back to the orthodox stance now. He's been
Who fights for glory. He was one of the best kickboxers on the planet. Definitely.
Yeah. 30 seconds now to go in the rest.
Yes. A little bit here.
Yep, and fighting better, fighting much better now.
Oh! Look at all the lighters in the audience.
I mean, I don't understand what that is.
I think the last fight between Weili and Joanna was so crazy.
Izzy fought very kicks, did a real good job of just mixing it up while still man kick to the body. Now listen to this. Seem to bother Yoel very much.
We might see an uptick in the aggression from Yoel Romero, just given the fact that Dan really ought to give him his 2 cents.
That's very odd. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I scored Izzy's round. You know, the third round was Izzy.
He's coached.
The title fight, right?
Yeah.
When the
stakes game they're playing, because either one guy can shut the other's life.
How much credit do you give Robert Whitaker for going in there for 10 rounds with the start fight, but he's not necessarily just engaging Romero and giving him a chance?
Because Costa just took it to him.
Yep.
He fought Romero like Romero.
Challenging for the UFC middleweight title tonight.
He's not allowing Romero to set traps and get him stuck against the side of the eye. Really catch up to Izzy.
Game plan. He's not allowing himself to get caught up.
Though did acknowledge that maybe there was an inadvertent foul.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Fingers closed when you're in close range. Okay, please. Want me to bring in the doctor to take a look? You got a rag or a towel to wipe the sweat and take a look at his eye?
What do you see, DC?
Look at Yoel's right leg, though. Pretty beat up.
Inside and out.
Yeah.
A follow-up.
Look at all that redness on that leg, though. Very encouraging for Izzy, though, to get up that quickly after being taken down. And it's when Izzy goes southpaw.
Round 4.
I mean, Yoel's just jumping.
Urgency in that brain of Yoel Romero. Last 2 times he's fought for a UFC.
To go. I mean, right now, Adesanya is doing enough to win this. If I'm Izzy, I'm worried. Because the way judging has been in MMA.
Adesanya defensively moving his head beautifully.
Hit that leg kick again. And that's going to affect his ability to close the distance.
Pressuring. If he's standing back, it's easier to check a kick. You can see him.
Beyond that lead leg now.
10 seconds.
seconds to go to decide the middleweight
Tucked
title.
under that question mark kick like he knew his reflexes.
Este es tu último round.
This is the last round.
Tú tienes para hacer más.
Ya, el último.
Okay.
Let's take a look at some of the action here. Look at timing on that.
That one had some steam on it.
Fifth and final round.
All right, guys, fight.
Been pretty darn effective over rounds 3 and 4.
But I just got a text from one of my buddies at home and goes, y'all's winning the fight. And I'm like, oh, we're going back to Texas. I thought Texas might be in the corner in timeout.
Do a false sense of security and then tries to explode. It's got lumps on it.
Into this fight, right? Izzy landed no strikes around, right? This is what I'm hearing now. So maybe the guy...
It's hard to call fights while you're watching them, but it's hard to imagine to look at it.
There it is. Nothing.
Like in the judge's eyes. Look at this.
It's such a slow pace.
Been credited with a takedown on his 3 attempts.
Yeah.
Well, the UFC, Adesanya.
The smartest man in MMA, Dominic Cruz, just texted me. And honestly, how many of Yoel's fights aren't weird?
Stools and...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You remember that time he wouldn't come back out?
Right before that.
Yeah.
A lot more than that, and not a lot of time to go. Oh, it's got to be his last minute. I mean,
Yeah.
minute and 24, he's really got to go for it.
Bad about the result if you didn't truly go.
Yeah, he's reacting to that low kick now.
Final 40 seconds of this 5th and final round.
So it looks like not much is going on, but look at the damage Yoel has taken.
Final 10 seconds of the fight. Adesanya and Yoel Romero, a little dust up there late in the fight. Highest level, there's risk management. There's so many things that go into it.
They know what they're capable of, and they know what it's like to be in there with you. Clever and technical.
Brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1870.
Up and kick lands for Yoel. That might win him round number 1 on the legs of Yoel Romero. As we keep going, big kick by Izzy, and then he does a cartwheel. At each other face to face, the most aggression that we saw.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of it, nothing happened, right? Nothing gigantic happened.
And hard to believe he could be involved in a
No,
fight
he would
like
never
that.
be involved in you. Whoever Paulo Costa fights for this belt.
It looks like the buff has made his way into the octagon. Adesanya and
Rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judge, and still the Israel, the last style bet.
Israel Adesanya.
It was a hard fight, but cliche. Touched me in the first round. That was the hardest shot he could land on me. And after that, I fucked his leg up. He was trying to do all the stuff to play it off, but exactly that. He plays the game in lulls. Dre and Twist said, you need 25 minutes of shot.
Now, there were moments when he did attack, but they were few.
I can go another 5 rounds. But he goes in lulls. He'll do a minute on. That's doing fight. I touched him up, and still.
Were you concerned? Stuff for you is Paulo Costa, which will be a much different
Yo,
fight.
if you come right here, I was scared he's gonna shit in his hand and throw it at the fence. But yeah, he goes. I've had over 100 fights in my lifetime. I've had over 80 careers for ESPN. So